The elf on the shelf had been a beloved family tradition for years. Every December it appeared, perched in a new spot each morning, keeping an eye on the children and reporting their behavior to Santa. The kids loved it, though this year something felt different. When Mum unpacked the box, the elf's painted smile seemed slightly off. Its glassy eyes, once cheerful, now seemed to follow everyone in the room. Dad joked that it had been watching them too long, but no one laughed. That first night, they placed the elf on the mantel. The next morning, it was sitting on the kitchen counter, staring directly at their youngest 5-year-old Mia. "Mommy, the elf moved again," Mia said excitedly, but Mom frowned. She hadn't moved it yet. She shook it off, thinking Dad was playing along. But things grew stranger. Each morning, the elf appeared in more unsettling positions, dangling from a light fixture, sprawled across the dining table, once even perched on the edge of Mia's bed. When confronted, Dad swore he hadn't touched it, and the kids were too young to pull such elaborate pranks. By the fourth night, Mom decided enough was enough. She locked the elf in the attic, away from the children. But the next morning, it was back, sitting in its usual place, its painted smile stretched wider than ever, its tiny hands gripping a kitchen knife. "Mia!" Mum screamed, yanking her daughter away from the table where the elf sat. The knife was just a toy from the playset, but it was enough to make Mum throw the elf into the trash. That night, as the family tried to sleep, they heard tiny footsteps in the hallway. Dad grabbed a baseball bat, but when he opened the door, there was nothing there, just the faint sound of giggling. In the morning, the elf was back, sitting on the mantel. Its face was smeared with something red. Beneath it, in jagged handwriting scrawled across the wall, were the words, "You shouldn't have thrown me away." That was the last straw. Dad burned the elf in the fireplace that evening, watching until its painted face melted into ash. The family went to bed, finally relieved. But when Mia woke up screaming at 3 a.m., Mum and Dad rushed to her room. She pointed to the corner, trembling. There, sitting on her bookshelf, was the elf, perfectly intact, its smile wider than ever.